We've officially started our back to homeschool year, and we have 3 kiddos going this year. The youngest one is in kindergarten, and I think when it comes to our younger kiddos, we have this pressure, this feeling that they have to do all the curriculum and all the things, and that is not what we subscribe to around here for our kiddos. So our kindergarten looks mighty different, and I'm going to share with you guys today exactly what we are doing for Olivia, our youngest. She is 5.5. I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Home, and welcome to our channel. I love sharing about all the homey things. So homemaking, homeschooling, home discipleship, homesteading, all to the glory of God with an eternal heavenly minded perspective. We've started our homeschool year. We're in our 13th year of homeschooling, I believe, and we just graduated our oldest this past summer, and now this year we just have our 3 girls. And so I shared a little bit with you guys yesterday. You can get that video right up here if you missed it. And today I wanted to talk about our youngest, Olivia, who is 5.5 in kindergarten, and exactly what we're doing with her. So if you guys have a kindergartner as well, or a younger kiddo, you're thinking about homeschooling, maybe your ones are a little bit young, they're not quite there yet, I hope that this can be a blessing and encouragement. I'm going to share throughout the rest of the week exactly what we are doing this month for each kiddo. We also have plenty of playlists, as we have been sharing here on YouTube for the past 5.5 years when it comes to our homeschool. So I'll put some additional playlists and videos down in the description box if you're wondering what homeschool looks like for us, how we do it, what we've used. All of that is down there. And of course, I will also leave links down there, as we have a lot of homeschool resources. Homeschool families are a main staple to our ministry and who we hope to serve in the things that we do. And so we have a homeschool co-op. We're going to have in September free homeschool plans that are posted on our website. We have a family Bible curriculum. We have lots and lots of resources. Again, it's all down there in the description. Leave me a comment if you have a question about where to find something, or something you're looking for, something that you would like to see. But let's go ahead and talk about these littles today. We have kind of a different approach when it comes to our kids and their education, especially in those beginning years. Now, our oldest, we put him in government public school for kindergarten. He was there for half of first grade, and we were kind of doing the whole process of what the normal, education route looks like. And we saw a lot of damage being done. And this was years and years ago. And so we pulled him out and we started homeschooling. And poor kid, the oldest kiddos, they're always the guinea pigs, I think, as we're trying to figure out what works best and do all of that. So when he was a little bit older, but before our first daughter was going to be homeschooled, I found this book, Better Late Than Early, by Dr. Raymond and Dorothy Moore. And I credit this to much of our homeschool success, because we implemented these principles for all of our girls now, and we have seen a world of difference. They wrote this book back in the day, and honestly, it's just a lot of common sense type knowledge, and the things that they predicted we would start seeing as issues in our children and in the education system, they were spot on. And so I highly recommend this book. You can get it in the Internet Archive. So I will put a link to this down below. You guys can pull it up and read it digitally. I get my copies usually just off of used bookstores online. Sometimes this can be a little difficult to find. Dr. Raymond and Dorothy Moore, they have a whole series of books about homeschooling and just family in general. They're phenomenal. I love them. I think I have nearly all of their books, and I've never found one that I didn't absolutely love. So if you have a younger kiddo, I'm saying really anything under about 8 years old, maybe even to 10, depending on your child's maturity level, highly recommend you read Better Late Than Early. This book is fantastic. So basically what they say is, instead of focusing our little kiddos, again, that kind of 8-ish under, instead of focusing them on formal schoolwork each and every day, we should focus more on informal learning, on pursuing play, on working alongside of their parents, really focusing on that servant's heart in these younger years. And so by applying these things and not putting a pressure on formal learning, starting to read, how to write, kind of all of those normal things that we see in traditional schooling, They say, let it be open-ended. If there's things that they want to learn and they want to do, that's fantastic, but it's not required. And so for us, with our kids, I do not require formal sit-down, do school activities until they've hit about 8 years old. And like I said, we've done that with all 3 girls with amazing results. They have all done a fantastic job. And so giving our kids a little more time to kind of mature and come into this, they're gonna pick it up like that as soon as they're ready. But instead of trying to force it upon them when they're little and kind of having some struggles and issues there, let them move into it and pick it up as they feel an interest. They have kind of developed a little bit more. And so everything that we do for our youngest here, you're going to see that approach. I'm going to talk about the main areas that we put an emphasis in our homeschool, and that would be Bible, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Those are the only areas that we put a structured focus on in our homeschool. And so we're going to talk about how I do that with Olivia, our 5-year-old, and then I'll also share with you the other areas that we focus on for her with this better late than early approach. So be sure to watch till the end so that way you guys kind of see how this all comes together and brings in that Dr. Raymond and Dorothy Moore approach to a child's education, which I believe is just so impactful. It really does give them that time to mature and develop and be ready to dig in and start learning as soon as they're truly ready for it. So the first point of our required subjects that we focus on for our homeschool would be Bible. That is very, very important. And if you guys want to learn more about our homeschool philosophy and why I think you should have one too, you can watch that video right up here. But for us, it is very important. Our ultimate goal is to disciple our children and train up children who walk in the ways of the Lord. Kind of hard to do that if you don't know what His Word says. And I don't want my kids to just believe something because their parents believe it and their dad's a pastor. I want them to believe it because they've searched the scriptures, they know the truth, and they can stand firm in exactly what they believe. And so that starts from the very beginning in training our children up in biblical discipleship. And so what we do for this, starting with even our youngest, I have the Heavenly Minded Homeschool Family Bible Curriculum. Now, this is the curriculum that I started writing for my kids, and I share it with you all as well. You can get these little books off of Amazon. You can get the printables that you just download and put together however you want them. This is something that has been huge for our family, and we do it all ages. And so we have this one little booklet. We're going to go through the entire Bible, Genesis to Revelation, and we have the same passage that we will work on throughout an entire week. So we go through it really slowly, breaking down the passage, reading it over and over each day, going around the table and letting everybody share something that stood out to them or maybe a question that came up. So we have one book that really does cover the whole family. And the difference here is you dig in as deep as you can with each child. So Olivia, obviously, isn't going to have the same level of response or question as maybe our 18-year-old would. But that doesn't mean that she's not still learning. She's not still growing. And I am constantly amazed as we read through the scriptures, we go around and share points that stood out to us, and then we go through and we have trivia questions for all of these. I am so amazed at her answers. She does such a great job and is really picking up so much. We also have Bible verses that we memorize and special areas of interest that we kind of study into each month here with the curriculum that's all built in together. We sing the Psalms and get to learn more about them, and doing this with her and everybody all together has been such a blessing, and we have seen such results from it. So super, super excited. Months 1 and 2 are available now. We have teamed up with some amazing people to help us get these finished, and they will be coming out here soon. So these are all linked down below in the description if you want to check them out. But this is what we use for Olivia. And then she has her Action Bible that she will, it's kind of sticky because she uses it quite often. But she has her Bible, so as we're reading, she pulls up and goes to where we're all at, and that way she can be listening, and she usually has a highlighter so she can kind of mark along as she goes, even though she's not reading yet. She loves having an actual Bible that she can sit down with. We have the regular Action Bible as well, which has the whole Bible just in like comic book form, and she really does enjoy that and being able to look at the images as we go through. So love these, they work out really well. The other thing that we do for her when it comes to Bible is now in the Heavenly Minded Homeschool co-op classes that we have, there is a Bible class just for the littles. I'm so excited. My husband pastors a church. We host everything online. His associate pastor, his wife, is teaching the littles Bible class, and I'm so excited. This class is going fantastic. It's just starting this week, so if you're seeing it this week, there's still time to sign up if you want to come join us. But they have a couple books that they're going to be going through all school year long, working through leading little ones to God. And so they're going to meet twice a week for just 30-minute classes and go over some of these foundational basics of the faith. And I'm really excited. Olivia loves the class. They're learning Bible verses. They're talking about the basics of the faith. They're going through different Bible stories in a great way with other kiddos their same age and a fun teacher. And so doing that for her has been fantastic. That is the core of what she does every day, and she is really loving it. Our second area of focus would be reading. And this is where, again, I'm telling you, the HMH co-op comes in so handy. We have a teacher, Ms. Abby, and she teaches this class called Storytime Fun, and it's so precious. It's for our littler kiddos where they can get on with a teacher and their peers. They go through different stories and have little fun activities and things that go along with it. And I know for Olivia, she just loves it. She loves the ability to kind of get on and do something fun like her older siblings, right? They're all doing classes and doing things, and she loves the opportunity to get on. But then there's these fun activities and videos that they watch and different things that they do, and she has such a blast. And so I also love it because then I get this private class page where there's activities and things that we can do together. And so it makes it really simple to rewatch the stories together, to talk about them, to do the different family activities and things. And it really is just a great, simple, straightforward way to start introducing her to the beautiful world of reading. She also will join us while I'm reading with her older siblings for their reading classes that they do that we'll talk about later this week. I read out loud and she can come and listen to that. We will pull up audiobooks on the, just YouTube with different books that are out there and listen to those. She has books in the house that she'll sit down and read through, which is great. But I don't push learning to read. When she's ready, we'll start it and do things. We've got amazing classes in the co-op to help those kiddos who are ready to start reading. And so they move into like the phonemic awareness class. When they start getting that down, they move into the fluency practice class. And so once she kind of starts hitting those markers, and the teachers are helping me too to are we quite there yet? No, not yet. But as she gets ready and she's ready to move into that and start reading for herself, then we'll do it. But other than that, I don't push it. I don't rush it. If she wants to do some of it, that's great. If not, that's just as fine with me. The next area of focus would be writing. So if I'm not really concerned about pushing reading and all of that, then I'm probably not super worked up over her learning how to write. You've got me. I'm not. But guess what? The more that they just have this enriched environment around them where you're reading, they see stuff. Whenever we have the TV on, we always have the captions down on the bottom. She plays games, we do things together, we're studying scripture, we're doing this stuff. That natural curiosity of letters and writing and bringing everything together, it just happens. And I love letting it happen at that natural pace for that child. Every one of them so far has been different. I had one kid who was reading by this age. I had another kid who didn't start reading until she was 10. Both are amazing readers. Both are fantastic, incredibly talented and smart children. They were just allowed to do it at their own pace, at their own natural curiosity. And so for Olivia, it's that way with writing. We do not sit down and do structured curriculum for learning her letters and learning her sounds and how to write them and things like that. They do some fun activities and Storytime Fun, which again, I love having those co-op classes because there are little things that they get in, and they might be working on some letters or working on some little activities or whatever it may be. And so she gets to play with that. They go through and they sing the alphabet song with the sounds for each one to kind of prepare them for that phonemic awareness class and kind of putting all those little building blocks together. We also do a lot of things like having chalk available. She decided the other day she wanted to learn how to write her name, and so her bigger sister helped her, and it was actually really cute because my husband went back and found one of our very first vlogs from 5.5 years ago where Lily was talking about, we hadn't had Olivia yet. We were kind of sharing the news with you all about the fact that we were going to be having another baby. And one of the things that Lily said was that she wants to be able to teach her things. And it was just so sweet and so precious because Lily was the one out there. Olivia came up and said, hey, I want to learn how to write my name. And so they pulled out the chalk and she taught her how to write her name. And now it's kind of funny because she has, we call her Bun. Bunny was her nickname and now she's just Bun. But she wrote Bun all over outside. So we have chalk everywhere. It's on the walls, it's on the floor, it's on the chairs, it's on the table. She's just like graffitied everything with the chalk, writing her name everywhere. She knows how to write hey. She knows how to write mom. They've like taught her different words that she wanted to learn how to write. But you see, when she had that interest there, she wanted to know how to write that. She wanted to know how to, do whatever it was. And so she learned it so quickly and she's really done a great job. And so we let even that writing aspect just be natural, be child-led. As she shows an interest, sure, we'll support you. We'll show you how to do it. We'll teach you about the different letters. When I notice things, I go, hey, Olivia, what's this? I'll ask questions. We'll talk about stuff. I'll point out letters, or we'll point out sounds that go with those letters, or whatever the situation might call for. But we do that through playing games, through just natural fun and child exploration and different things that she's actually interested in. And so it might seem a little backwards because it's not a set curriculum, it's not a set path, it's not a set boom, 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 but our kids love it and it works so well. And I really want to focus on creating a love of learning because that will serve them throughout the rest of their lives. And I want my kids to just love learning and love growing and exploring and asking questions and really thinking about different things and using their own logic and reason to process through it all. And so allowing that kind of open-ended ability to do things, even like reading and writing, it's made a big difference. That brings us to arithmetic. Here, our final area of our required core subjects that we focus on. Now, our approach to math is definitely different, I think, than anyone else I've really seen. So our approach to math is a little different than really anyone else that I've seen on here, but it works really, really well for us. Again, it's kind of that same thing where I could care less about what level of math curriculum my kids make it to. I myself, as an honor student, calculus, trigonometry, the whole thing, you name it, I don't use a lick of it, okay? It's not anything that even is relevant to my life. And I didn't want to just push my kids through all of the steps because that's the step that it goes through. I want my kids to know number sense. I want them to know how to work with numbers. I want them to know the important things that I wish more adults knew, like understanding interest rates and taxes and investments and how we handle money and how we deal with all of this with a biblical worldview. And so for me, that is far more important. And it starts with even the youngest of ages. Now, we use math and number sense in our daily lives all the time. And so I would much rather let natural life happenings be the teacher. We look for learning opportunities. And especially for Olivia, there's so many times where we are counting or we are just sharing our daily rhythm and schedule. And so she learns how to tell time because we're doing that. She's with me at the grocery store, so she's learning about budgeting and being able to read the label to see how much something is. When she's had her own money from birthdays and things like that, she's got to count it out and learn the different, currency and what's what. She helps with different, projects and tasks around the house, and she gets involved that way. We play lots and lots of games, be it video games or board games, and number sense is always mixed in with those. And so again, no set curriculum, no set lessons, no set anything like that. By just doing life together and creating this just love of learning in a enriched environment, she has great number sense. She can count, she knows money, she can tell time, all of these different things without a lick of curriculum, without any formal, we sit down and we learn this. Just by doing life together, she's picked these things up and she's doing great. And so for now, That's how we focus on arithmetic for her. So yes, friends, kindergarten can truly look this simple, this basic, this natural. And the biggest thing out of all of this, yes, of course, it's our Bible time, a little bit of reading, writing, arithmetic, kind of just through life and what's happening, but it's really just doing life together. If there's one thing I could recommend to anyone with a little, I'm talking from like 8-ish years old under, do life together. Show them what it looks like to have a servant's heart. Show them what it looks like as they're coming alongside of you and you are showing them how they can serve in their home, in their community, to friends and family and whomever it is that the Lord puts before you. Letting them do life alongside of you. Let them get in the kitchen and cook. Let them have chores and responsibilities. Let them have lots of playtime. Open-ended, get outside, splash in the mud, get in the pool, whatever it may be, let them have that wonderful time. Ask questions, explore, inquire, adventure. All of these things are so huge in the development of the whole child. There are great curriculums out there. Do not get me wrong. Come September, we plan to be sharing kind of some of the things that we use that our family finds really beneficial. So if it works for you, that's fantastic. Go for it. You do what's best for you, your family, and your individual children. But if you're kind of feeling overwhelmed, like it's just not working, I'm trying to structure all of this stuff, I've bought all the kindergarten curriculums, we're trying out all the things, and it's just not working well. Or maybe it worked for a while and now it's not working so hot. Maybe you need to try a different approach. Maybe you need to back it down a little bit. Maybe you need to give them more time to play and explore. Maybe you need to trust that as they develop, they will start becoming curious about these different things. And then when they're curious about it and they've developed a little bit more, you can start digging into reading and writing and math and all of those other areas. But you can also just trust that the Lord will absolutely put before each and every one of you exactly what you need as you train them up each and every day to the glory of His name. So friends, I hope that this can be helpful for you. Even if it's just a little bit of encouragement to say, it's okay. You don't have to do all the things. You don't have to fight your poor little kiddo who you're like, oh, we have to read, we have to write, we have to do all of these things. And they're like, I don't want to do this. I just want to go play. That is okay. Let them play, let them grow, let them develop and explore and adventure and really focus on just creating that love of learning. And that happens when we make learning fun, when we just encourage them to have some curiosity and to ask questions and then to help them dig in to find the answers. When we let them pursue the things that they are interested in, they really start having that love of learning. And we want to build that up as much as we can. So that way, when they get older, they just dig into all kinds of stuff, all of their own accord, because they love learning and they love growing. And we all should be learning each and every day. So I hope that this can be a help for you guys. If you have more questions or you're wondering a little bit more, kind of seeing exactly what we do for our little one, we can definitely do some day in the life. So if you guys would like to see that, leave me a comment down below. Otherwise, I'm going to put a playlist right up here for you guys with more on this type of an approach to our little ones and their education. I will be back here tomorrow with more videos. We'll see you all then. Bye, friends.
Bye.